Hi there, it's Biker Mike here. Last week I did a video on my new bikepacking bags from Ortlieb, and the response of that video was so overwhelming that I thought I'd do a second follow-up video on how I'll mount those bags onto two of my bikes. So you sort of get a feeling on how these bags will fit both mountain bikes as well as touring bikes. So this is my mountain bike. It's called Vitus Nucleus, and it's your run-of-the-mill hardtail mountain bike with suspension forks. And that's also what makes this project so interesting. Will I be able to mount these small bags onto my suspension forks or not? I can't wait to find out. But I thought we'd start off with the three bags that are normally included in a bikepacking setup: the frame bag, the seat bag, and the handlebar roll. The frame bag comes in two different sizes, 4 liters and 6 liters. And after some careful measuring, I figured out that the larger model would just barely fit inside the triangle of my frame. This does, however, mean that I have to remove my only water bottle cage from this bike. And that creates another problem. How am I supposed to carry my water? The answer to this is a couple of feed bags. Feed bags are small accessory bags mounted to the handlebar or stem. They can be used for carrying water bottles, your phone, snacks, a camera, and so on. The frame bag is a great place to store your heavier things, since it has a low center of gravity. It's very stable and pretty much stays in place during the ride. Here you can store your things such as your power bank, phone, and tools. This is a one-compartment frame bag, which both has its pros and its cons. The good part is that you can store larger things if you choose to, like a water bladder. But the downside is that it can be more difficult to keep things organized inside of the bag when there are no separators. The bag comes with 3 of these larger Velcro straps that are made to wrap around the top tube. These are interchangeable, so you can choose between a number of different positions on the frame bag to get the best fit for your bike. These ones can be a little bit tricky to get into place, but when they are installed, they feel really stable in place. So that's a good thing. One of the big upgrades to the new bag is that it has this top tube channel that makes for a better fit with your bike's top tube. There are also 3 smaller Velcro straps included, and you can position these however you feel like, depending on the shape of your frame. One good tip, and they even state this in the instructions, is to put some sort of protective plastic around your frame at the contact points. All of these bags are gonna move around a bit, and all this bouncing around is gonna rub against your frame, causing a lot of wear and tear. The zipper has moved to the drivetrain side, which makes for easier access. And you can feel right away that this is a high quality zipper. In fact, it was kind of difficult to open it in the beginning, but I think that has to do with its waterproofness. Once the bag is properly attached, the last thing we're gonna do is to attach the 2 Velcro straps inside of the bag to each other. This is probably done to keep the bag from bulging out too much and to make everything a bit more stable. Let's move on to the seat pack. Again, I went with a larger 16.5 liter model. There's also a smaller 11 liter one as well, and I figured volume would be a key factor for me. And you can always roll down the bag and make it a bit smaller if you want to use it for day rides. What you do first is you take the buckles and guide them over the saddle rail, and then connect them with a black strap. After they have connected, you can tighten the straps and secure the strap by closing the clamps. Then you can tighten the 2 Velcro straps around the seat tube. After this is done, you can start to fill the seat pack with gear. It's recommended to fill it up with gear that compresses well, but is still lightweight, such as clothes or a down sleeping bag. When you've filled the sack, you open up the air valve by pulling it. Then start rolling the pack and make sure to press out all the excessive air. Connect the buckles and tighten the orange straps, followed by closing the valve again. The third bag in the setup is the handlebar pack. I was looking for a handlebar bag that could create a gap between the bag and the handlebar, since the old bag I had was pretty much strapped right onto the handlebar. And this interfered with my brake and gear cables and caused them to bend quite a bit. So after a bit of research, I found that the Ortlieb bags had these foam spacers that create a physical distance between the bag and the handlebar. Another nice feature is that the handlebar pack use a two-step mounting system to make mounting the bag as easy as possible. With cheaper bags that I've tried, I've found it being a hassle to mount the handlebar bag, since I had to support the weight of the bag with one hand while trying to find the buckles with the other hand. Ortlieb has a really smart solution to this dilemma. First, you attach the velcros to each other, and it doesn't have to be particularly snug. Then you can let go of the bag and use both of your hands to connect the buckles and tighten the orange straps until they're really tight. And the third and final step is to stabilize the bag by attaching the third strap around the head tube. The handlebar pack has roll closures in both ends, which means that you can access your gear from both sides. Plus, another feature is that you can adjust the size of the bag by rolling it up a bit more. And this is great for me, since that way I can use the handlebar pack on my Kona Sutra touring bike with drop bars as well. After I'm done installing the handlebar pack, I'm moving on to the accessory pack. And you attach the accessory pack to the handlebar pack by using these 4 loops on the back side. On the handlebar pack there are 4 corresponding clips that should attach to the hooks, and when that is done you tighten all 4 straps. There are also a couple of alternative ways of using the accessory pack. First, they include a long orange strap made so you can use the pack as a hip bag if you choose to, but I doubt that I'll ever use this one. The same with these 2 velcros on the back. You can skip out on the handlebar pack altogether and just mount the accessory pack right on to the handlebar using these 2 velcros. But I'll doubt that that will ever happen, and I might even cut these off in the future. And now to the part we've all been waiting for: how to install the fork bags. Inside the fork pack they've included a Ziploc bag with all the parts in it. You start by cutting the shrink wrap in half. Then you take one of the metal bands and thread the shrink wrap onto it. Lying it down on a table or the floor helps a bit. After this is done, you take a lighter or a match and apply some heat to the shrink wrap and let it mold itself after the metal band. You then wrap the metal band around the fork and slip the ends of the band through a little clamp. Take the pliers and try to fold down the ends as much as you can. Measure out where the second bolt is supposed to be and repeat the whole procedure. When you tighten the bolts, you'll notice that tightening the bolts will also tension the metal band so that it will stay in place. While it was a little bit difficult to install these on a suspension fork, it's super easy to do on a bike with eyelets. All you have to do is screw at least 2 bolts in and you're done. So I can't wait to get out on the roads and try out these new bags. We finally got some warmer weather here the last couple of days, so hopefully I'll be able to make an overnight trip this coming week. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that trip. And in the meantime, you can watch my latest adventure from my bike tour up in Arctic Norway by clicking the link up in the corner here. Otherwise, until next time, have a good one.